Hey all you mentees, this is the Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition. And join me today as I take an advanced look at the ApocalyptiGirl from Dark Horse Comics, and also a book I didn't really talk about but I want to bring to your attention, and that's The Isle of Dogs, based on Wes Anderson's movie. So please stay tuned. So before I get started, I want to thank the folks at Dark Horse for sending us an advanced copy of the book and a copy of Isle of Dogs. So let's talk about Isle of Dogs first. I don't know if y'all have seen the movie. This is based on Wes Anderson's movie. And we all know that Wes Anderson's a pretty quirky guy with Royal Tenenbaums and Budapest Hotel. So this is based on his movie, which is kind of strange because usually it goes manga, anime, movie, live action movie, American remake. So this is unique because this is based on an American movie and they made it into a manga. And the creator is Mochizuki Minotauro. So let's look in here. It does come with a dust jacket, but before I remove it, I wanted to do a size comparison. Here it is compared to the size of a standard manga, which I Am Hero. It is as tall as the Berserk Deluxe Editions and as long. Obviously not as thick, because the book retails for $19.99. Let's take a look inside. But before we do, let's get rid of this dust jacket and see what's underneath it. Interesting, the exact same thing. Even the spine, identical. Okay, so this is written and drawn by Minotauro Mochizuki. And we have red end pages here. Translations were done by Zach Davison, and the lettering of Susie Lee with Studio Cutie. There are no color pages. And this is the gentleman that did Dragon Head. And it's a manga that came out, oh man, I want to say just about maybe a decade ago or so. And it was published by Tokyo Pop here in America. So I don't know if some of you all have read it or not. Now, this is a really quick read because the book is only 80 pages. But as you can see, it is oversized artwork. Now, if you've seen the movie, this is a very condensed version of the movie. It was, like I said, a really quick read. I don't want to flip too much through here. There are a lot of characters that are left out, and they even changed the storyline a little bit. So, I don't know if Wes Anderson's for you. I know sometimes he's a little too quirky for some people, including myself. But this manga was a pretty interesting read. I'm a big fan of manga, as you all know. So I wanted to read this because it's just such a unique thing to have a manga based on an American movie. So this is Isle of Dogs. It is only 80 pages and, like I mentioned, $19.99. And you could probably tell it does read from right to left. And there are no extras in the back. Next up is ApocalyptiGirl and Aria for the End Times. It is written and drawn by Andrew MacLean. Here is that spine. And the back of the book. The book retails for $19.99. So let's talk a little bit about this one. This was another really semi-quick read. So there's all these praises for the book. Actually, there's little blurbs in the back praising the book. And Andrew MacLean has this very... okay, so I will say this. When I was looking at this book, I really wanted to read it based on this cover. That's what it looks like with the whole spread. So when I turned the pages to the very first few pages, I noticed something. I thought the artwork looked a little different, and it's a lot different because I believe this is his newer style as opposed to this. Now, I've never read anything by Andrew MacLean, but he's done things like Headlopper, and this art style really reminds me of, I don't know, like not modern, but early aughts to now, Cartoon Network kind of artwork. Not that there's anything bad like that, but things like Adventure Time or even Rick and Morty. And as a matter of fact, when I was looking into what else he's done some Rick and Morty comics. So the premise of the book is pretty easy. It's about a girl, Aria, which we meet at the very beginning. There she is. And she hangs out with her little cat named Jellybean. And there's also Gus, this giant robot that she's talking to. She talks to herself a lot because you think she's alone. And lo and behold, she's not alone in this apocalyptic world. So this is in the post-future maybe Earth, maybe not. Not gonna spoil it for you. Regardless, it's this post-apocalyptic world where she's trying to fend for herself. So she keeps looking for this ancient relic with all this power. And I'm not going to reveal why she's looking for it, but it's pretty interesting. And she sets a path to finding it. And through this adventure, she runs into these, I would say, Mad Max type of characters. These savages that live here on this future. And there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of curse words. But like I said, it's a pretty easy read, and I think that's as far as I want to flip. I don't want to spoil what else happens in this book. Like, the story might seem pretty simple, but it really succeeds where a lot of comics don't, right? There's a few comics that do this, and that is, it creates this future world that you really feel is alive. And it took me just a little bit to get used to the art style, honestly. And I know art style sometimes turns people off and on, but for me, you read these books so often that there's different types of art style for everybody. And it grew on me. I ended up really liking it. I ended up really liking it so much that by the end, by the way, because there is another story in here. Yes, this particular story right here. His art style is different. I'm like, oh wait, is that Aria? That doesn't look anything like her. So this is his newer art style, and that's what the cover's based on. And this book was originally released back in 2015. Let's look at the extras while I talk about that. By the way, this book comes out on March 4th. So this is an advance overview of the book. Yeah, so I really dig both of his art styles. I like his newer colors, though. So the book was originally released in 2015. Here's a sketchbook area. You all know I love this stuff. And now this is the second edition with hardcover with more pages. The only negative thing I can say about the book is that I wish it had been longer. Like, he's building this future world and we only get just a small glimpse of it, or it feels like we're just getting a glimpse of it. So I kind of wish that we had grown from that and seen a lot more. Maybe a second volume would be cool. But this book has 128 pages, and it is a hardcover with no dust jacket. Now, this book is already out, and ApocalyptiGirl, like I said, comes out on March 4th. If you want to buy either one of these, you can buy them from cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off the cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. And for you minties, Cheap Graphic Novels is running a special promotion. If you're a first-time customer, let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the contents of the book, the build of each book, and the page count. Let me know in the comments down below which one you're picking up. If you've ever heard of this, if you've already read ApocalyptiGirl when it came out a couple of years ago, or if you're just not a fan of Wes Anderson. Let me know in those comments down below. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. Remember, we can be found on Patreon, and all of that information is in the description down below. And we can also be found on Redbubble. More importantly, remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.